My family had a Christmas tradition that almost unalived my little sister. My dad was obsessed with making Christmas morning magical, but his version of magic involved my 6-year-old sister Meg climbing onto our roof at 4 a.m. in her pajamas to ring sleigh bells. See, Dad had convinced Meg that she was Santa's special helper, that Santa needed her to guide him to our house by ringing bells from the highest point. Every Christmas Eve, he'd wake her up before dawn, hand her a set of jingle bells, and boost her up through our attic window onto the icy roof. She'd sit up there for hours in freezing weather, shaking those bells and singing Christmas carols, thinking she was helping Santa find our house. My mom and I would watch from the yard below, terrified she'd slip and fall 2 stories onto concrete. But Dad insisted it was building her confidence in Christmas spirit. She's fine, he'd say. Santa's watching over her. Meg loved it at first. She felt special, important, like she had the most magical job in the world. But our roof was steep and covered in ice every December, and Meg was just a little kid in slippery socks. Last Christmas morning, I was watching from my bedroom window when it happened. Meg was dancing on the roof, spinning around with her bells when her foot hit a patch of black ice. She slipped. I watched my little sister slide down our entire roof, desperately trying to grab something, anything, to stop herself. She caught the gutter with her fingertips just as she went over the edge. Now she was hanging 20 feet above our concrete driveway, holding on with tiny frozen fingers, still wearing those stupid jingle bells around her wrist. "Daddy!" she screamed. "Help me!" But Dad was inside making coffee, completely oblivious. I ran outside in my bare feet and positioned myself under her. "Let go, Meg! I'll catch you! I can't! I'm scared!" Her fingers were turning white from the cold. She was losing her grip. That's when I realized Dad had set up the whole tradition to avoid dealing with Meg's Christmas morning excitement. He just wanted to tire her out so she'd be calm when he woke up. He didn't care about magic. He cared about convenience, and now his magical tradition was about to unalive his daughter. Meg's grip finally gave out. She fell directly into my arms. We both crashed to the ground, but she was safe. When Dad finally came outside with his coffee, he found Meg sobbing in my arms with rope burns on her hands from the gutter. "What happened?" he asked, like he had no idea. That's when I snapped. "Your magical tradition almost unalived her, you psychopath." I told him exactly what I thought of a father who puts his 6-year-old daughter on an icy roof just so he can sleep in on Christmas morning. Dad's face went red. "She was fine. You're being dramatic." "Fine." I held up Meg's hands, showing him the raw rope burns and bleeding fingertips. She was hanging by her fingernails 20 feet off the ground. Meg was still shaking, bells jingling softly as she trembled. "I don't want to help Santa anymore," she whispered. Mom finally spoke up. "Arthur, this has to stop. What if she had fallen onto the concrete?" "But Santa needs me," Meg said, still believing Dad's lies even after nearly dying for them. That broke my heart. She was so brainwashed by his magical story that she felt guilty for almost dying. I knelt down and looked her in the eyes. "Meg, Santa doesn't need little girls to risk their lives. Real Santa would never put you in danger." Dad tried to interrupt, but Mom cut him off. "She's right, Arthur. This tradition is over." The next week, Dad finally admitted the truth. He'd started the whole thing because Meg used to wake up at 3 a.m. every Christmas, jumping on their bed with excitement. The roof tradition tired her out and kept her busy while he slept. He chose his comfort over his daughter's life. Meg never climbed on our roof again. This year, she's opening presents inside like a normal kid, at 3 a.m. if she wants to, because that's what Christmas morning excitement is supposed to look like. No bells, no ice, no terror, just Christmas morning the way it should be, with everyone alive and safe on solid ground.